Good morning. Did you sleep well? Good. Welcome to DLD Brussels. Welcome to DLD Europe. Before we start, please give a big clap to this wonderful band which accompanies you It's the Terry Dumont Trio. Good. It's our band. So, are you awake? Good. Not yet. Oh, I hope I can wake you up, Mrs. Schretter. Welcome to our second edition of DLD Europe in Brussels. Some of you know DLD stands for Digital Life Design, and since 13 years, 13 years ago, there was no Twitter, for example, no WhatsApp. Many things we know today haven't been there. 13 years ago, we started DLD, and we explore the key questions always. How is digitalization changing our world? Today, we all know that in this room, we all know that the internet changed more than just the way people communicate. Digital technologies are permeating every single aspect of our world. They bring many conveniences, like communication, sharing, online shopping, online dating, online banking, and so on and so on. But digital transformation also poses new questions on the operational and strategic level of every business every single day. It forces us to constantly rethink and question our decisions, to adapt and deal with the implication of an accelerating technology. Blockchain, artificial intelligence, conversational interfaces, contextual services, additive manufacturing, the Internet of Things, AR, VR, genomics, and so forth are common knowledge, meanwhile, and buzzwords of today. And the next digital-driven technology is surely already on the rise, while we are still coming to terms with the recent developments. In this world of a constant next, the political sphere, the realm of geopolitical strategy, of regulation and lawmaking is also dramatically changing. New economic players and new business models are growing at an incredible speed. Extremely successful US tech and digital players are omnipresent and seem to dominate large shares of the markets globally. New Asian players are on the rise, catching up in a market share, valuation, and technology unforeseeable. Think of Tencent, Alibaba, or Baidu. Also, citizens and consumers voice their opinions and demands their rights more in the global network than ever. How can democratic decision-making keep up with these regulations? With these developments, without constantly fighting yesterday's battles, very important. What is the right way to ensure a safe and prosperous future for Europe? This brings me to the second reason why we are here in Brussels, in the European capital of today. DLD is a European company. We believe strongly in the European Union, the vision of a united Europe, and the economic and political strengths of our united continent. This is why we need to find transnational solutions for today's global challenges. It's a real shame that the European Union seems to be in constant discord, in a mood of crisis, with the euro, youth unemployment, mass migration, and of course, Brexit. What does it mean for all of us? We have to discuss it. No heads in the sand politics. This is what DLD aims to provide, an open platform for debate and conversation, optimistic conversation, and to connect thought leaders, decision makers, and disruptors in an interdisciplinary way. Therefore, today's agenda will shed a unique spotlight on the digital sphere in Europe. I'm happy now to give you a very quick run through the agenda. We will be starting off with a status quo of the European digital economy. to see where we stand in the global market and what the critical issues are. We will hear 4 different perspectives, from a business leader, a digital think tank, a representative, an EU decision maker, and an investor. Next up, on a more pragmatic level, we will get insights from one of the mentioned US tech giants and an European entrepreneur. Then we will focus our view on one of the most talked about EU competitions cases of the last year. We will hear from 2 experienced lawyers who worked on either side of the case. After lunch break, we will dive deeply into one crucial issue of the digital age, the protection of copyright. How can we find a European way to best navigate this? Further on, Commissioner Oettinger will give us his special insight into what Brexit means for the future of the political and economic union of our continent. We will get some updates from a market leader on the mega topic of future of mobility. And constantly talking about challenges and issues here, we will also dive into ways of solving conflict with the means of concerted communicative measures, a most important topic in Europe, which currently is surrounded by many nation states who take an authoritarian stance in world politics. And to sum things up, we'll hear from a number of renowned experts on how technology can help us to build a better, more democratic, more transparent, more livable and prosperous Europe. I wish you all a day of insights, debates, and unexpected connections. I also wish you a big fun. And now, allow me to call on stage a good friend, a true European, and a great supporter of DLD. Dr. Beate Merk, Bavarian State Minister for European Affairs and International Relations, who is hosting us here today in this wonderful building. Come on stage, Beate. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, dear Steffi Czerny. Good morning, dear Paul Bernhard Cullen. And good morning, lieber Abgeordneter Markus Ferber. A great deal has happened since the first DLD conference held here in Brussels 1 year ago. Whether we are talking about smart cities or smart toys, the way digitalization is changing our lives is becoming more and more evident every day. New York City, host to another successful DLD event last May, which I was delighted to visit, has set itself the target of providing Wi-Fi internet access to all residents of the city, preferably free of charge. An excellent idea in a city where many are no longer able to afford their meager accommodation of 8 square meters. Over 1,000 internet kiosks have already been set up in New York City. The plan is to have a total of 7,500 at virtually no cost for the municipal administration. The generous company behind the Link New York project is Google. And there's no doubt about it, many citizens of New York will find life a lot more convenient in future with free internet accesses. However, there's also some concern developing on the other side of the Atlantic. What is the real price we are paying for this convenient service? What is actually happening with all the data we disclose when we use the free internet service? And furthermore, is Starbucks still a coffee shop? Or is it already a big data company? The example clearly indicates once again that the USA have a fundamentally different approach to us when it comes to data security and internet expansion. This approach is not necessarily better than ours, but then again, it is not necessarily worse. Whereas the USA industry is simply allowed to get on with it, in Europe we consider it a responsibility of the state to provide the necessary infrastructure. Nevertheless, I firmly believe that if the megacities in the USA and Asia are becoming smart cities, we in Europe should not ignore this. We must make sure that we are also up front in global market developments for the digital age. The DLD event in the European capital is therefore being held at the right time and, of course, in the right place. Steffi Czerny, Paul Bernard Cullen, I'm absolutely delighted to see you with DLd Europe here at the Bavarian representation again. It is the ideal venue for the European networking. It's great that you are here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all accepted the invitation to attend the second DLD conference in Brussels. As the host at our Bavarian representation and as Bavarian Minister for European Affairs, I am delighted to welcome you here today as our guests. All of you like to seek challenges because behind every difficult task there is a potential opening for a better tomorrow. We can only steer towards a positive future with people who are bursting with ideas. With the new opportunities afforded by digital technology, we can put this creativity to better use than ever before. The pioneers of our digital future in Europe therefore need a policy that clearly points the way towards the new digital age. In this connection, the EU Commission presented the mid-term review of its digital single market strategy in May 2017. 35 legislative proposals and policy initiatives are now on the table. We in Bavaria made it clear right from the start exactly what is right and important for us. The trialogue negotiations are due to be held in the coming month. It is our aim to reach a political agreement with the European Parliament and the Council on all proposals. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of Bavaria has been doing its homework and a great deal more as well. Our strategy is called Digital Bavaria. In the first phase, we are investing 2.5 billion euro, a tour de force for the shift of the digital age in business, education, and administration. With Digital Bavaria 2, we will be investing yet another 3 billion euro. 1 billion euro will be spent on gigabit infrastructure, including 40,000 Wi-Fi hotspots and a 5G initiative for next-generation mobile communications. Here, we are counting on some tailwind from Brussels. The gigabit society is a pan-European approach. Europe needs the lifelines of the future. This is essential if we want to hold our ground in global competition for the best opportunities in a digital world. At the moment, European law is making it difficult to promote further expansion wherever bandwidths of over 30 Mbits are already in place. Here I say the EU Commission should not bother about little competition details. It must set the pace for a future-proof digital infrastructure. We therefore call on the Commission to amend its definition of high-speed internet significantly. The approval procedure for our funding program must be implemented swiftly. We are putting 2 billion euro into core digital topics. We are investing in all levels of digital education. We are also investing in IT security, in our competencies in key digital fields, from artificial intelligence to robotics and to mobility, all the way to digital medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, the shift of the digital age requires a positive climate. This is where the state can and must become involved. However, we also know that our society is built on values that it cannot establish itself. For growth and prosperity in the future, it all comes down to the people. The best brains in business, research and media. In other words, to you, Mr. Cullen, and to you, because it's media too. I wish you all a successful DLD Conference Europe 2017, stimulating discussions, good ideas, and a lot of new contacts. Enjoy your day here with us in Brussels.